Mother Nature provided the Nationals a day to recover from a stinging Game 3 loss.
Line drive, base hit left center field. We are tied. Blooper, shallow center, it's gonna fall. And the Cubs have taken Game 3.
Now they put their season in the hands of their under-the-weather ace, while the rested and energized Cubs look to take another step in their title defense. The NLDS continues next.
It has been a 24-hour soap opera in this NLDS. It began with a lot of rain. Tarp now off the field. Skies are ready for game number 4. However, that wasn't really the only question. It was who would start. No Strasburg, now Strasburg, who seems to be, according to Dusty, 90+% ready. Here's the skipper before the game.
He just said, I'm feeling a whole lot better, and I want the ball. You know, I was playing it on Tanner pitching, and but you know, thing about baseball is that you have to, you know, things are subject to change. I'm not a doctor. He's 90+, you know, % well, and at this point in time, I mean, he knows what's at stake. He just told us he's going to give us what he has.
If you try and go chronologically, you still get confused. Let's unconfuse you. Is that a word, Chef? You would know.
Unconfuse you.
All right, you'll take it. MLB on TBS pregame presented by Alfa Romeo, the all-new Stelvio. Welcome aboard, getting you ready for game number 4 from Wrigley. Casey Stern, Gary Sheffield, the Hall of Famer, Pedro Martinez, my MVP, Jimmy Rollins, and my question, maybe only tennis is where before this we had the unforced errors, but it seems to be a lot of them from the Washington Nationals over the last 24 hours. Let's start with that. Is this too much information? We're going through all this process, and we're going to go through it. But, guys, as players, why do the media, why do the fans need to know seemingly as much information as the Nationals were giving us over the last 18 hours?
Well, you know, my thing with this is, why do we even know that he's sick? You know, I would rather talk to my manager, and it's between us. And when we go out there, if I fail, then my manager cover for me and say he was sick. I don't need my player going out here and saying that I'm sick, I can't pitch, or the manager saying he's too sick, he can't pitch. Now you're sending a mixed message to your team. Your team now is in turmoil of what we're going to do now, because now we're going with our 3rd or 4th starter and basically a 500 pitcher, not knowing if he's going to pitch. But then we got our 2 horses here, because Strasburg can change the narrative here. He can change this whole series by going out here and pitching a lights-out game, winning this game, and giving this ball to Scherzer for the closeout game. But it's just too much information.
You know, Pedro, Scott Boras came out today complicating things even more, saying, hey, look, it was the Nationals' decision. It wasn't Steven Strasburg. But I want to get in the DeLorean, go back in time to where the 2 of you are in a postseason game with the Philadelphia Phillies. Pedro, can you take us through going back to that postseason start, just so people know from a Hall of Famer's perspective how sick you were when you took the ball to go out there in what was, I believe, a championship series game, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we ended up losing that game, but nobody knew away from my teammates and the clubhouse how sick I was. And thank God, we were able to keep it that way, because had the Yankees known how sick I was, things would have been probably different. But I was able to go out there. I did not want anybody to know it except my teammates. And it came out because the medical staff really felt worried about the way I was feeling that last game I pitched in actually my career. But, you know, it's something that needs to stay within. That way you don't expose yourself to the other team. You don't expose your weakness. Now they know that he might get tired a lot easier, might be more patient. So many things that can come into play by just letting the opposition know, and especially your agent, your ex-agent.
Yeah.
What did you do to him?
Fired him.
Fired his ass.
You know why? Why you fired him? Because he gets his nose sometimes too deep where he shouldn't. I don't think, and I don't know, but I will have to second guess Strasburg when it comes to Scott Boras, because there's no need for an agent to get in between your game.
What? He can't talk for himself?
Well, let me.
I
That's
think
what I'm saying. He can't speak for himself.
Strasburg is good enough and mature enough and understands himself enough to actually go and talk to his manager, talk to his players, or do whatever he has to do. I don't think the agents have any
Chef,
business dealing with
this.
This
Isn't
matter.
the first time we've had this with Steven Strasburg,
Right.
and you don't want to go ahead and take that into account. But, Jimmy, how do you not take it into account? This is a guy who was shut down. I spoke to teammates that year. Nobody was happy. They said the right things because you're on the team. And then there was that whole Scott getting involved, Mike Rizzo getting involved, Strasburg. Is it him? Is it the team? Right. Here we go again. If you are in the field right now behind this man, what is the trust level of the Nationals players for Steven Strasburg?
Oh, 100%. He's on the mound that day. As position players, our job is to go out there and perform. Doesn't matter who's on the mound. Give us what you have. We'll work with it. You know, the managers, the pitcher coach, they'll find a way to string it together because we have to do our job, whether you're sick, 100% healthy. If we're not scoring runs, that's not going to matter at all. As far as in the clubhouse, when you first hear this, you do have that here we go again type of feeling. But then he turns around and mans up like, you know what? I don't know what I have, but I'm going to give it to you all. Just like Pedro, we're talking about the 09 World Series. Looking at him, he looked about your color. And we all know how brown he is.
I was going to say, what's wrong with my color?
No, just from him to go down to your color, let you know he was sick.
Staff.
Well, not that much, but we knew he was sick, but what we knew is that we were going to get the best he had that day. We just didn't do enough. And that's how you have to feel as a position player. If you're sick, that's fine. We've all played with injuries, being sick, traveling, whether it's the flu or sinuses. But when we go out there and play ball, and you have that ball in your hand and you're pitching, we have the bat in our hands and we're hitting, that's all that matters. Sickness, all that stuff goes away.
I want to go through the process pitching side. Take us through this and the viewers at home. Steven Strasburg throws yesterday, right? The Nationals say he's too sick, he doesn't have any endurance, he looks like he can't go. How does that conversation go between pitcher and manager? Because here, you know we all love Dusty, but you have a situation where the manager's in one side, you've got Mike Rizzo in another, you got another corner with Scott Boras, but no one's hearing from the pitcher himself. Take us through that communication that goes on after a throw day like that.
Well, I don't think it was Strasburg who actually told the manager or told anybody, the front office or anybody. It's the medical staff that, and you heard Dusty say it, that he's not a doctor. He doesn't really know. He has to wait for the medical staff to relate the message about his situation. Now, it could be a virus. And we all know that at this time of year, with all the pollen and the change of weather, the rain and all that, you can get a virus really easy. But the same way you can get some medication that could probably hold it and make you feel good enough to say, hey, I'm good enough to go and pitch within 12 hours. And that's probably what happened to Strasburg. I think they're going to be okay with him. Now they're going to monitor, you know, if his stamina goes down a little bit, if his energy level goes down a little bit. But if he's able to hold them for at least 5 or 6 innings, that would be good enough for Dusty to get back to the bullpen and put the pieces together to try to win this ball game.
Chef, something we all talk about, all three of you do have for the last number of years, even though Pedro says it a little bit with more color than we do, with focus.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
Which
focus.
is right,
Yeah.
exactly what he said. When you talk about the focus that it takes, athletes, and it's anybody at home in whatever profession you're in, to be at your best. When you have, instead of, hey, look, we got to focus on beating a Jake Arrieta that can be pretty darn good in a big spot, now you have, I don't know who's pitching, both times, you got changes, you've got all the questions in the clubhouse, you guys know what they are. It would be my job to ask you about what? Yeah. Not facing Arrieta, about this. Is this a distraction for this Nationals team heading into this afternoon's game?
Well, this is a total distraction. You know, the thing is that, but like I said, Strasburg, he can change the narrative. He can go out here and pitch a lights-out game. But at the same time, we all know when something goes wrong, he goes wrong. And now you have a virus going into it, and now can I focus when I'm not at my best? That's the question.
And on the other side of it, it can be a distraction. I mean, it's going to be a distraction, but how do you use it? You know, now that you're thinking about everything else and not worried about Jake Arrieta, does that clear your mind? You know what? I don't know what we have. It doesn't even matter. We're going to go out there and play ball. Now the one-run losses, all that stuff's put behind you. the struggles, all that stuff's put behind you because you're just trying to figure out how we're going to put this game plan together today. And we all know we could go back to, greats. Everybody has their moment. Obviously, he's one of the greatest to ever do it, but Michael Jordan in the flu game.
Yeah.
I seen Ryan Howard come off the bench in Cincinnati after food poisoning, coming IVs right out of his arm and hit 2 home runs and win the game for us. So this can be a moment for Steven Strasburg. He was sick, wasn't feeling well.
One
comes
other
out and
point.
shoves.
One other point that I need to make about this: there's no time to have this be a distraction for the team. There's one game that
already is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
How is it not, though?
It
That's what I
shouldn't be
wanna know.
because
it's
there's
just how you use it. I'm agree. It's
no,
how
no,
you use
no.
it.
Listen, Jeff. I think you have to really erase any negativity that could surround the team at this point. It's such a short period of time. It's just 9 innings. You have to really put that aside as soon as possible. Concentrate on the game. Players need to be ready for the game. The pitching staff, everybody needs to have their cleats on from the first inning.
I understand what you're saying.
Hold on, Jeff.
But he asked, was it a distraction? Yes, it is. But,
It could be,
we still got to go out here and play this game.
It could be a little virus in the team,
Yes.
but it has to be a virus that only lasts
Of
for
course.
the
Yeah,
moment
Play
it's
ball.
coming.
Once they play ball, everything is done.
Let's be fair about this. And I know sometimes as a member of the media, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes you've got to go and you've got to make the story look bigger than it is. Is it fair to say or not this is a legacy-defining game for Steven Strasburg to either, guys, cement what everybody has thought, weak, not tough enough, never stay healthy, can't pitch a big game, or, as Chef said, to change the narrative? Is that a fair statement? This is a legacy-defining moment for Steven Strasburg.
I say yes. I say yes. After everything is said and done and what he did the second half and him being upset and getting mad at people calling him all those things,
Right.
here's a chance to stand up.
Until this happened, I thought it was the first game he pitched in this series. But he pitched a great game. But now this is the game.
I have to agree. This is every time you get an opportunity to do something in the postseason, it's a time to cement your legacy. But this game, without a doubt, doesn't lack any of the importance that he needs really for a good legacy to leave in the Nationals.
That's right.
I think he's in the right position today to really make a statement about his legacy.
Since we're so serious for the last however long this has been, I'm just glad you guys are getting along today. Did you hug it out last night? I'm just glad you're getting along today. We've got a tweet that comes in for J-Roll. Gary Sheffield needs to fix Jimmy Rollins' tie and collar.
Hold on, man.
No,
I'm just glad it's
Let me
not
help
me.
my smooth Jimmy out. Let's just take this off here.
take it off, show the button.
Yeah, I don't know who told you to put this
You know
on.
this is a total running time.
You
on
know, I
this
got this
segment,
big
right?
old hand. See, just
Yeah,
lay
there
it
you
down,
go.
tuck it on.
Lay it down, then
Yeah.
get to see the flaps.
Yes.
I'm with you, G. That's why you call you Uncle Chef right
Let's go,
there.
Uncle Chef, right there.
What you think? What you think? That fix it? Where we at? Where we at?
Where we at?
Man, y'all keep switching the cameras. There you go.
Now you look good.
I didn't make the shirt. I'm not the manufacturer.
We'll come back. We'll get into Jake Arrieta and a lineup change that everybody across the desk would make today for DC. Which one is it? We're back.
When you look for things, when you search the polished showrooms, you are looking for me. Beyond status and capability, you are looking for me. And when you dream, you unknowingly dream of me. I am the end of your search. I am the Alfa Romeo Stelvio, the first sport utility vehicle created by Alfa Romeo.
Fresh mozzarella and pepperoni don't just belong on pizza. They also belong on a sandwich, which is basically pizza, plus a huge piece of chicken. Arby's, we have the meat.
I'll have the langoustine lobster ravioli.
For you, sir?
The original call was for langoustine ravioli. Langoustine is a tiny kind of lobster. Slight shellfish allergy rules that out. Plus, my wife ordered the langoustine. I will have chicken tenders and tater tots.
If you're a ref, you way over-explain things. It's what you do. If you want to save 15% or more on car insurance, you switch to Geico.
Sir, we don't have tater tots.
It's what you do.
I will have nachos.
This guy's upping his game by listening to an audiobook on Audible. And this guy is just trying to get through the day. This guy feels like he can take on anything. This guy isn't sure he can take it anymore. Unwavering self-confidence. Stuck in a 4-door sedan of sadness. Upgrade your commute. Ride with Audible. Dial ** Audible on your smartphone to start listening today.
Carbs to refuel. Electrolytes to help replenish what you lose in sweat. Gatorade. Rehydrate, replenish, and refuel.
There was a young street urchin killed upon the bridge. Perhaps you've seen it in the papers.
Our task is to construct an image of the killer until a pattern begins to emerge.
There could well be others.
Ready.
We don't yet know him, but we will.
The Alienist, coming soon on TNT.
The postseason pregame show on TBS is brought to you by the all-new Stelvio, an SUV only Alfa Romeo could create.
We get a look at the Nationals lineup today. This is pretty much the lineup throughout the course of the season. It is one that we've seen already in this series. Let's talk some changes. First of all, Jimmy Rollins specifically, should Trey Turner still be leading off or no?
No, he needs to be dropped. Just to take the pressure off of him, but also to get the lineup going. And from what we've seen, not everyone has been swinging the bat well. You know, they've been getting some good swings, but I think in this situation, you have another speed guy who's batting down in the lineup, and Michael Taylor, who has actually been swinging the bat well, at least taking aggressive swings, and you need that at the top, something that just shows some aggression that we're fighting. Why not take that chance there? I know managers don't like to shuffle a lot, especially this time of year, but 0 for 12. Maybe dropping down a little bit, see what Michael Taylor can do, and take your chances.
Dusty is a guy who loyal. Sometimes we see with managers in general and people, you can be loyal to a fault. I look at this lineup, first thing, Chef, that jumps out to me, just being fair, is how do you not put Howie Kendrick in it instead of Jason Worth based on what your eyes have seen here over the last couple of weeks?
Well, I've always said this kid should be playing. I don't know how he's on the bench on this team. You know, you got Anthony Rendon is hit, you know, he's swinging the bat pretty well, and he's taking some quality at bats. I would have him hitting second, and then I would have Howie Kendrick in his spot in the 6th hole playing left field over Jason Worth. Jason Worth, we're thinking about him as a Philly and being clutch and all this and that. But to me, his time's been past him. He's been a bust in this contract, and he's never done nothing for this organization, as far as I'm concerned. So this guy should be in the lineup.
Next time, tell us how you really feel. Pedro?
I just told you.
Yeah, you did. Everybody appreciates your honesty, but we just mentioned what Dusty is all about. He's loyal. He wants to remain loyal. I think this is Jason Worth last year in the Washington Nationals. I think it would be unfair to deny him the opportunity to do something for this team. I think.
How? You had 5 years to do it.
7.
Well, 7. That's even worse.
Well, hold on. This is the postseason where I've seen Jason now finally struggle. The previous, times that he's been in the postseason, he's been a little bit better. Now, what I see from Jason as a pitcher, I'm no hitter, so I'll leave you with your duties. You guys are the ones that know about hitting. But I'll tell you, as a pitcher, even though he hasn't show up with the results, he's taking good at bats. He's good at taking pitches. He's good at working the counts. And I think if Dusty was to put him lead off and let him see all those pitches that he sees, will help his lineup a lot more, and he will be in position to succeed by seeing some more fastballs from the starting pitcher. And I think the entire team gets better as they get to see what the pitcher has by watching Jason Worth lead off. And Taylor probably, who's swinging a hot bat and can bunt and can run, probably being the second.
Have you ever seen the movie Outbreak? You got to be careful when there's a virus, especially if it's airborne. If you don't believe me, take a look, because the fans are out there right now with masks as they watch Steven Strasburg. So here he is on the field, warming up, Now, he's not in harm's way of anybody. There they are.
But this is not a distraction.
Making sure to be careful. They're either that or they're dentists and checking molars on the guy to their left.
I love going to the Lions Den.
Yeah.
Make them all go.
There's something out there for you and me. And the American road is calling. So what's it gonna be? Hey, it's an amazing day, traveling our own highway. No matter where it leads us, we can smile, 'cause there's meaning in the miles.
Your pizza now comes with a side of pizza, but not just any pizza, a Papa John's pizza. Right now, when you buy any pizza at regular menu price, you get one free. It's buy one pizza, get one free.
Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
Order now at papajohns.com.
Liberty Mutual stood with me when I was too busy with the kids to get a repair estimate. I just snapped a photo and got an estimate in 24 hours.
My insurance company definitely doesn't have that.
You can leave worry behind when Liberty stands with you. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Now playing on DirecTV Cinema.
An army of dead are coming straight for you, Jack.
How do they do this? We meet again. I will have my revenge.
Rated PG-13. Movies start at channel 125.
We just faked our own deaths, moved to a new town, and our credit will be as good as new.
We're checking Credit Karma.
Fine, but once we see how bad our credit is, we fake our own deaths.
Deal. Oh, not as bad as I thought.
Maybe there's hope for us yet.
Credit Karma. Get knowing.
When money's tight and emergencies arise, CashNetUSA.com is available 24/7 to deliver quick loans for approved customers when they need it the most.
Apply now at CashNetUSA.com.
Money's on the way with CashNet USA.
The postseason pregame show on TBS is brought to you by the all-new Stelvio, an SUV only Alfa Romeo could create.
Play Ball is MLB's initiative to inspire all forms of baseball and softball participation, making play opportunities available and fun for everyone. To learn more, and you should, get over to playball.org. Now, you should also, after our game, get over to Game 5. One-word answers, Indians-Yankees, Game 5, Pedro.
I would say Yankees.
Yankees.
Cleveland.
Yeah, I'm taking Kluber. I'm taking the Klubot. Yeah. But I asked the question. I can say as much as I want.
But you still got to answer the question the right way.
By the way.
Oh, look at the caller.
No, hold on a second. Can we do me a favor? And I know we got commercials and sponsors. Forget that. I got to sit there. Can somebody get my Ray-Bans from the back? I got some glare coming off this man's. I mean,
we're at a jury show.
Woo!
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Everything's for sale.
That is like...
Everything's for sale. Come holler at your boy.
Can I borrow your watch? I would like to go buy an island with it.
You can borrow with a couple of dollars.
Woo!
No,
you could just buy me one, or
rentals,
else
whatever.
I won't ask any more questions. When we come back, there is rain coming down at Wrigley. Hey, look, at least they can give Strasburg 3 more days to get healthy.
Not a distraction. Distraction?
Practice?
Got a postcard from the grandkids. They went to the Ark.
Yeah. What does it say?
Well, Annie says they had a blast and that it's really, really big.
Everything looks big to a 6-year-old.
Well, Hudson says it's even bigger than the castle.
Can't be that big. Can it? Go ahead. Think bigger.
Chicken this good deserves a fancier kind of cheese. So we got whole milk, fresh mozzarella from the most luxurious place on earth, Wisconsin. Arby's, we have the meat.
Why did you take credit card debt on?
Second kid. Private school.
Medical bills.
Moving costs.
Solid ground.
A personal loan from SoFi is a smart way to consolidate credit card debt. Certain borrowers cut their credit card interest rates 42% and increase credit scores 17 points on average. Borrow up to $100,000 with low rates and no hidden fees. Find your rate in just 2 minutes and take on your debt at SoFi.com.
Carbs to refuel. Electrolytes to help replenish what you lose in sweat. Gatorade. Rehydrate, replenish, and refuel.
I've chosen to be loud, to be unique, to be authentic, and unapologetically me. I'm good at it because I'm unafraid. Every time someone wants me to be quiet, I speak louder. I am Halsey, Renegade.
Way back home in Michigan. But you can't blame me for trying. You know I'd be lying, saying you're the one.
Home runs mean more this postseason. T-Mobile guaranteeing at least $1 million for hurricane recovery efforts with every homer hit worth $10,000. Help break $1 million by tweeting #HR for HR. T-Mobile will donate an additional $1 per tweet. Get out and do that for a good cause. There's Eddie Vedder, meeting of the minds there with Joe Madden, possibly talking about whether or not Jake Arrieta will be the better man today. I tried to work elderly woman behind the counter, but that couldn't get in there. Arrieta is a guy who is pitching legacy of his own, and ironic because we talked about Scott Boras on the Strasburg side. Well, guess what? Arrieta is in tune for a lot of money coming up here in the offseason. This is a big start for him, a guy who's been brilliant in these kind of matches.
I think this is the most important start for him because, you know, being that pitcher of old orders, the new one this year. I'm still, the jury's out on him for me. You know, I don't know if he's that dominant guy or he's just a good pitcher. This game was solidified this whole thing about his contract.
We've seen brilliance from him. We've seen him dominate for a whole year. I've been on the side where he's come out and threw a no-hitter and turned around and almost do it again. But every day is different. He's had his struggles this year. He seemed, I guess, normal. And then at times he seemed like Super Arrieta again, and he put on that face and had that mask thing going for him. So, obviously, any game that you pitch in the playoff is your biggest game, and right now, this is his biggest game.
Pedro, 6 or more days rest between starts for Arrieta this season. 4-1, 1.72 ERA. Opponents hitting 200 against him.
Well, I think this guy is a victim of the hangover from all this postseason with the Cubs and the amount of work he put together. I think he still has, Jeff, a little bit of both. A little bit of the Super Arrieta that we know and a little bit of a good pitcher, too. I think as time is passing, he's getting more mature. He recognizes the game and the situations a lot better. He's a mega athlete.
Yes,
I believe he knows his body really well. He's just a victim of a hangover from pitching so much in the postseason and during the season. Remember, this was a workhorse for the Chicago Cubs, and all those innings piled up on top of him at once can really take a toll on you.
Look, it may be unfair to ask it this way, but with everything going on, the distractions, it's Arrieta at Wrigley. Does anybody on set think the Nationals win this game?
No, I don't.
Well, we'll see you for postgame. We'll see you postgame. What that means, who knows?
Yeah.
There he is. Won't matter if there are masks.
No,
unmasked will be the legacy.
I like
of
to him
Steven
come out with a
Strasburg
face mask on his mouth and make the umpire have him take it off.
Start.
Give it right back to him.
Well,
Game 4.
Psychological warfare, baby.
Your pizza now comes with a side of pizza, but not just any pizza, a Papa John's pizza. Right now, when you buy any pizza at regular menu price, you get one free. It's buy one pizza, get one free.
Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
Order now at papajohns.com.
Liberty Mutual saved us almost $800 when we switched our auto and home insurance.
With Liberty, we could afford a real babysitter instead of your brother. Oh, that's my robe.
Is it?
You could save $782 when Liberty stands with you. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Huh. Can't find my debit card.
Oh, no.
Oh, it's fine.
Yeah, totally, it's fine. But, like, is it fine, though? Because I would maybe be worried.
really, really, really worried.
Do you want me to go back and look for it? I will. I mean, a lot of bad things can happen. You need to call the bank. I don't know how else to tell you. You need to shut that card.
It's off.
What?
I can turn it on and off in my Wells Fargo app.
I feel better already.
Good.
One swing, one pitch can turn the tide of a series.
They won't win this fight. I've already hit the low.
In a game, the Nationals must win to preserve their season. On Tuesday, we had heavy rain here in Chicago, forced the postponement of Game 4 from Tuesday until Wednesday. The rain has gone away for the most part. Still got a couple of sprinkles, a little mist here and there. But we are ready to play baseball. Game 4 in the best of 5. The 2017 National League Division Series is presented by T-Mobile. The Chicago Cubs lead the series 2-1 over the Nationals and can move on to a date with the Dodgers with a win today through 3 games. The emotions have been overflowing in this series. These two teams separated by just 1 run through 3 games. Memorable swings of the bat that could swing the series one way or the other. There's been a pitch that leads to emotion like that. And there's Anthony Rizzo begging the opposition for respect. And now it's Game 4. Welcome, everybody. Ernie Johnson, Ron Darling. All the emotion of the first 3 games replaced by intrigue and confusion over the last 24 hours, ever since Dusty Baker announced that Tanner Roark would be his starter in Game 4, despite the rainout, which appeared to give Stephen Strasburg the start on rest in Game 4. Then it just really got confusing.
Well, it didn't make any sense at all until you found out that Strasburg was suffering a little bit from the flu. Hey, listen, he's got a huge contract. He's a guy that was 4-0 in September. When you look at his first start, 5 2/3, no-hit innings against the Cubs, you put that all together, and there's absolutely no one in the history of the game that has ever missed this kind of start to stave off elimination because of the flu. And he's out there, and I think that's a good thing.
Jake Arrieta's been battling a hamstring and finally gets the ball in Game 4 of this series.
Well, Arrieta, of course, great pedigree himself. We've been talking so much about Strasburg in the last 24 hours. What we need to talk about is that the starting pitching of Chicago has been excellent. Their ERA is .48, and the Washington Nationals in this series are hitting 121. Unless they change that, they're going home.
Lots of talk about antibiotics and IVs and changing weather and hotel air conditioning and mold over these last 24 hours. Let's get down to business and play baseball. We'll do that. First pitch coming up from Wrigley right after this.
Can I just grab a bottle of water, please?
Introducing Fitbit Ionic, the smartwatch designed for fitness.
Finally. Ron, they're finally taking down that Schwab billboard.
Oh, not so fast, Carl.
Oh no, Schwab again. Index investing for that low? That's 3 times less than Fidelity.
And 4 times less than Vanguard.
What next? No minimums?
No minimums.
Schwab has lowered the cost of investing again, introducing the lowest cost index funds in the industry with no minimums.
I bet they're calling about the Schwab news.
Schwab, a modern approach to wealth management.
Inside the rack houses of Jim Beam, every barrel's aged 4 long years for a fuller, smoother flavor. Our history's made from the inside. How will you make yours?
Your pizza now comes with a side of pizza, but not just any pizza, a Papa John's pizza. Right now, when you buy any pizza at regular menu price, you get one free. It's buy one pizza, get one free.
Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
Order now at papajohns.com.
This 2017 NLDS telecast on TBS is brought to you by Charles Schwab. Own your tomorrow. By Papa John's. Free pizza with any pizza purchase of equal or greater value. By the Lincoln Continental. And this postseason, there's a new leader in network. T-Mobile. America's best unlimited network.
Welcome back to Wrigley Field, where we get set for Game 4 in the best of 5. It's 59 degrees. Very humid, 98%. The forecast is cloudy. Have a few sprinkles around the ballpark right now, and a 37% chance of mold. The third member of our broadcast crew, Sam Ryan. Sam, what you got?
Well, Ernie, quite the turn of events here. I think you used the word confusing to describe it. The Nationals say that Steven Strasburg was dealing with flu-like symptoms over the past few days. He had a fever, he had the chills. General Manager Mike Rizzo saying that he threw his bullpen session on Monday and he felt weak. He was lethargic, had no endurance. So they put him on IV, they put him on antibiotics, and after that, they asked him yesterday if he was ready to make the start today. He told them, hey, I'll take the ball. I'll give you everything I have, but I just don't know what I will have out there. That's when they decided yesterday to go with Tanner Roark, and that's when GM Mike Rizzo said they changed up Strasburg's medication.
We switched Stras's antibiotics, gave him a higher dose, IVs and fluids throughout the evening, and this morning he felt much more like Steven Strasburg.
You know, I mean, he's a grown man. He made that decision on his own, and he wanted to pitch. He was very adamant about he wanted to pitch and how much better he was feeling.
Hey, guys, both Dusty and Mike Rizzo saying they don't feel that Strasburg was pressured by the media or by his teammates to make the start. Dusty also saying all hands on deck for this possible elimination game. Had a conversation with Max Scherzer, and Max will be ready to go out of the bullpen if needed, guys.
All right, thank you very much, Sam. Ronnie, it seems to me like this whole thing could have been avoided if yesterday, when they asked Dusty, who's going to be your Game 4 starter, he could say, look, Roark is scheduled, but I know now that we have an opportunity to pitch Strasburg on regular rest. He hasn't been feeling 100%. We'll let you know tomorrow.
You know, Sam, it was interesting what Sam said, that not pressured by the media. Of course not. He doesn't care what we think. Pressured by teammates, that's something a little different, because when you walk in the clubhouse and no one can look you in the eye, that is what happens when you think that one of your best starters in an elimination game might not take the hill. He's taking it now, though, so point out.
Batting order for the Washington Nationals, who come into this game hitting 121 for the series. Trey Turner is hitless in 12 at-bats with 5 strikeouts. He remains the leadoff hitter. Then it's Jason Worth, who has moved up to the 2-hole. Bryce Harper in the 3-hole. Dusty Baker has said this has been his most productive lineup, and it appears for the first time in Game 4 of this series. Zimmerman, Murphy, Rendon, Wieters, Taylor, and Strasburg on the mound.
Yeah, Worth has always liked to hit in that second hole. Now, Jake Arrieta, 2 years ago, the Cy Young Award winner, when he was almost perfect through that season, has a couple no-hitters under his belt also. His issue this year, and he had a good year, a solid year, is that his fastball command was not great this season. If you see that today or this afternoon, trouble for the Nationals.
That was our starting pitching profile presented by State Farm.
And defensively for the Cubs, a couple of changes. John Jay, why wouldn't you put him back in that lineup? Hayward in right field, Zobrist in left. Javi Baez, I feel like he's always got to be out there. He seems to do something defensively that always changes the game. And Contreras again behind the plate, the battery made of Arrieta and Contreras. You know, John Jay, I was talking to him the other day about his bunting, all the little things and the base running. He said, you know, I was just lucky. I've had great people teach me how to play the game correctly. And boy, he does.
Now, if Game 4 would have been played yesterday, Kyle Schwarber would have been in left field. Jason Hayward against Roark, 0 for 18. He was the odd man out of the outfield mix. But today, with better numbers against Strasburg, Hayward is in the lineup. And we do not see Schwarber, who had the big error the other day, but was going to be in the starting lineup had they played yesterday.
So a little better defensive outfield for Arrieta this afternoon.
We are set to go. Game 4. National League Division Series, Cubs and Nats. Been as tough and tight a series as you could possibly want. Arrieta into the line, and Turner showed bunt, brought it back, took a strike.
Only has one bunt base hit all season long, so just showing that to the defense of the Cubs.
Those pillars on the corners, Rizzo and Bryant, both in on the grass. Broken bat blooper behind second. Baez back, one down. 0 for 13 for the Nationals leadoff hitter.
And it's not only 0 for 13, it's been a soft 0 for 18 with 5 punch-outs. Remember this, folks. Jake Arrieta in 2 postseason closeout starts, 1-0 with a 1.20 ERA.
The thing about that leadoff spot, too, not just the numbers, but it's the trickle-down effect. If he gets on base with his speed, he makes things happen, puts pressure on defense. That has been missing through 3 games and now into the 4th. Here's Jason Worth.
Remember, one of the most talked about games all season long is a game that Arrieta started against the Nationals when they stole 7 bases. Turner was a big part of that.
One of the most talked about, but not by Miguel Montero anymore.
That's right.
Game that cost him his job with the Cubs. He was critical of Arrieta for not holding runners on. And when you throw somebody under the Greyhound like that, you're not going to hang around Joe Madden's clubhouse for long. Inside to Worth.
Well, Ernie, my macho days are done, but Jake Arrieta.
I did not know that.
With Jake Arrieta with no sleeves is showing me something on this cool afternoon.
Worth is 1 for 10 in the series. And the count even, 2 balls and 2 strikes. You can see the raindrops on the lenses. And it is just kind of blowing around here. Not a heavy rain, but just annoying.
It's a Chicago October day. That's what it is.
Yeah, we got wind, we got rain, we got a chill in the air on a day when the Cubs look to clinch and move on. Arrieta to the plate.
Some of the things that makes Arrieta so difficult is that he throws so extremely across his body, which produces unbelievable movement. And he's got a wipeout slider once he gets ahead of you. See the stolen bases. He's gotten better as time has gone on. Starts kind of like in the stretch position, just a simple step back and then the delivery.
Here would be my question for you too, when you got a guy like Arrieta who's coming back from a hamstring. Got a little off track here today, and you wonder about a slip or something like that. But Joe Madden has complete faith that he is back and ready to go
he's had over a month to kind of get that hamstring right, but he has not been on a mound since September 26th. That's 15 days ago.
It hasn't been on this mound since August 29th.
I mean, when he's about to deliver that baseball as a hitter and that shot you just got, you don't see anything. Not the baseball, not his glove, not his face, only the back of his uniform.
Well hit by Worth to left, but Zobrist is right there. This is antenna up kind of day defensively for everybody out there. The wind, the rain, possibly wet turf.
I also believe positioning is very important. If I were an outfielder, I would make sure 3 or 4 steps in. Ball's not going to go anywhere on this cool day with the wind blowing in.
Well, here's Bryce Harper. Has been hitting second, now third in the lineup in this game, and he takes the ball 1-0. That's Laz Diaz behind the plate. Jerry Lane at first, Will Little at second, Corey Blazer at third, and then Ron Kulpa has the left field line, Field and Culbreth down the right field line. Harper waits on a 1-0 and cuts right through it. 1-1. And you see the putout made by Zobrist in left, just proving the value to Joe Madden on this team. He started every game, but this third different position of which he has started in this series, right, left, and second.
Hardest part of Zobrist's day to get ready for a game is which glove to find in his locker.
Two balls, one strike. But Bryce Harper who takes, and it's 3-1. Contreras wants to check, see if he went around, but Corey Blazer says no swing.
You know, Dusty said this is his best lineup with Worth hitting second, and we were asking ourselves, well, why the 4th game before finally going to it? Said he kind of wanted to get Harper going, get him more at bats, because he only had those 18 at bats the last 8 weeks.
And then had a couple of games against left-handers.
Yeah. Still not able to catch up to that good heater. 2 hits in this series, both on breaking balls.
Including that dramatic home run in game 2 when the Nats were all but down and out. Payoff pitch. And Harper draws a 2-out walk.
I would say coming into this series, the first 3 umpires that we've had behind the plate, Corey Blazer, Ron Kulpa, and Field and Culbreth, have more of a pitcher's strike zone. Laz Diaz, in my experience anyways, watching him behind the plate, he's a little stricter. He's more of a hitter's umpire.
Here's Ryan Zimmerman. Goes the other way, and Hayward is there. That ball just stayed up for Hayward, and that does it in the top half of the first from Wrigley.
The boy's throat had been cut to the bone.
I'm an alienist. I look to help those with an illness of the mind. I must construct an image of the killer and thereby capture him.
The Alienist, coming soon on TNT.
We took marinated all-white meat chicken and married it with our cheesy quesadilla to create the perfect union. Introducing Taco Bell's new crispy chicken quesadilla. Get it with all your favorites like a crunchy taco, Doritos Locos taco, and an ice-cold medium drink for just $5. Together at last, but only for a limited time. The new $5 crispy chicken quesadilla box, only at Taco Bell.
Mine's way better.
This one's below market price and has Bluetooth.
Same here,
But this one has leather seats.
Use the Cars.com app to compare price, features, and value.
I'll have the langoustine lobster ravioli.
For you, sir?
The original call was for langoustine ravioli. Langoustine is a tiny kind of lobster. Slight shellfish allergy rules that out. Plus, my wife ordered the langoustine. I will have chicken tenders and tater tots.
If you're a ref, you way over-explain things. It's what you do. If you want to save 15% or more on car insurance, you switch to Geico.
Sir, we don't have tater tots.
It's what you do.
I will have nachos.
So that's the idea.
What do you think?
Hate to play devil's advocate, but kind of feel like it's a game changer. I wouldn't go that far.
Are you there? He's probably on mute.
Yeah, Gary won't like it.
Why?
Because he's Gary. What?
Keep going.
Yeah.
It's not millennial enough.
There are a lot of ways to say no.
Thank you so much.
So we're doing it.
Yes.
Start saying yes to your company's best ideas. Let us help with money and know-how so you can get business done. American Express Open.
Far beyond the ordinary exists the unforgettable. The Alfa Romeo Stelvio, the first sport utility vehicle created by Alfa Romeo.
Welcome back to Wrigley. Cubs batting order. John Jay leads it off, followed by Chris Bryant and Anthony Rizzo, who's been the RBI guy for the Cubs. Wilson Contreras in the cleanup spot, then Ben Zobrist, Addison Russell, Jason Hayward in right, Javier Baez in the 8-hole, and Jake Arrieta does the pitching. Let's take a look at our starting pitching profile presented by State Farm.
Well, these stats here are going to include his Game 1 start. Last 8 starts for Strasburg, 5-1, 0.49 ERA, has not given up a home run in the last 59 2/3 innings.
John Jay takes a strike, 0-1. And the breaking pitch finds the mark, 0-2. Strasburg took a no-hitter into the 6th in the opener. Under Anthony Rendon, misplayed a ground ball that allowed Baez to get on, and then Bryant and Rizzo delivered run-scoring singles in the air to center on a ball that's going nowhere. One down.
Defensively for the Nationals, Michael A. Taylor in center field has been outstanding in this series. Murphy and Turner up the middle, Rendon and Zimmerman on the corners, and the veteran Matt Wieters. You know, it's interesting. Jason Worth was one player you thought about, boy, maybe might make a change. You know, maybe Adam Lynn gets a start, but he's still out there. Dusty's always been a loyal kind of manager, loyal on this 4th game.
Chris Bryant 3 for 11 in the series. Hey. Takes a strike. 29 home runs and 73 runs batted in the season following his MVP campaign of 16.
Strasburg in Game 1, it was really no contest for the first 5 innings that he was able to throw all 3 of his pitches, fastball, curveball, and changeup for strikes anytime he wanted.
One and 2. If you're just joining us, it's been a strange last 24 hours ever since the press conference yesterday after the rainout was announced, when everybody assumed that this guy would get the ball here in Game 4. And then Dusty Baker said, no, it's still going to be Tanner Roark. And then the confusion began because, you know, Dusty got his days mixed up, saying, no, Scherzer had thrown his bullpen on Tuesday, the more high exertion effort there, so he's not going to be available on Wednesday. Actually, he had thrown it on Monday. And then there was just all kind of trying to cover the bases by Washington. No, he's not feeling good.
The more they spoke, the more confusing it became.
Yeah. And then this morning came the word, Strasburg may pitch after all. After reported IV treatments and antibiotics, that he felt more like himself, and here he is. And he strikes out Bryant for out number 2.
Well, that's what separates Strasburg from a lot of pitchers, is that he has 3 quality pitches to put you away, but on a 3-2 count comes with a heartbreaking ball. To the hitter, it seems like it's in the strike zone for 58 feet of time and then just drops off the table.
Well, the Nats shift again for Anthony Rizzo with second baseman Daniel Murphy in shallow right. Rendon, the only Washington infielder on the left side. Missed outside, 1-0. Rizzo 4 for 12 in the series. A home run, team high 5 RBIs. It's from a guy who knocked in 109 in the regular season. Under his arms, and it's 2-0.
We came into this series saying that the Chicago Cubs were going to have to figure a way to get Daniel Murphy out. I think the Nationals within this series now have had to figure out to not let Anthony Rizzo beat them. He has been their most consistent clutch hitter. Hey.
Strasburg deals the 2-1. Breaking pitch stayed outside. 3 balls and a strike now to Rizzo.
So
go ahead.
If you decide to pitch very carefully to Rizzo, then you're going to say that Wilson Contreras is going to be the hitter that's going to have to beat you.
Cut through that one on the change, 3-2. Strasburg was virtually unhittable after the All-Star break. 6-1, ERA of 0.86 as he struck out 76 and walked 14 and allowed only 2 home runs and none in the month of September. And then all he did when he got the ball for game 1 of this series was hold Chicago hitless into the 6th. Daniel Murphy just broke away from the shift momentarily to get the birds out of his way out there in right center field. As Rizzo goes down swinging for the 3rd out. Not everybody likes the bird's eye view.
Hey, Bryce Harper, quick selfie.
Wait, how'd you get out here?
Oh, don't worry, I've got T-Mobile. It's all unlimited, so I've got unlimited access to all things MLB.
You sure about that?
Yeah, hey, can I have some of the Pine Tar? Check it out. Unlimited data meet unlimited grip. Hey, the guys need me in the bullpen. Sorry.
That's the dugout.
I know, yeah, totally.
We can't really give every fan access to the field this postseason, but we can give you America's best unlimited network, T-Mobile.
Why did you take credit card debt on?
Second kid.
Private school.
Medical bills.
Moving costs.
Solid ground.
A personal loan from SoFi is a smart way to consolidate credit card debt. Certain borrowers cut their credit card interest rates 42% and increase credit scores 17 points on average. Borrow up to $100,000 with low rates and no hidden fees. Find your rate in just 2 minutes and take on your debt at SoFi.com.
Limits are meant to push you, but I'm not afraid to push back. Chase down your passion. Never halfway. Hankook Tire.
A cheeseburger and onion rings for $2.99? Last time we ate this good for $2.99, we were in college.
No, I was in college. You were in denial.
That's not true.
Get a cheeseburger and handmade onion rings for just $2.99. This is how you Sonic.
And now I help people find discounts like paperless, multi-car, and safe driver that help them save on their car insurance. Any questions? Yeah?
How do you go to the bathroom?
Great. Any insurance-related questions? Mm-hmm.
Do you have a girlfriend?
I'm actually focusing on my career right now, saving people nearly $600 when they switch. So...
Where's your belly button?
I've got to start booking better gigs.
Touching hands, reaching out, touching me, touching you. Sweet Caroline, good times never seem so good. So good! So good!
Make your commute a little sweeter in the newly redesigned Hyundai Sonata, our best Sonata ever.
Official caps, t-shirts, hoodies, jackets, ponchos possibly, little tiny umbrellas, and more. Celebrate your favorite team with the latest postseason gear at MLBshop.com. One of those kind of days, lots of jackets and hoodies as Daniel Murphy fouls off the first pitch.
Can't have an umbrella at the baseball game. You're blocking the person's view behind you.
I do not like the umbrella at the ballpark. Even one that was that small and fragile. Arrieta to the plate. Nibbled at the corner, but missed. Ball and a strike. Murphy just 1 for 11 in this series. Hasn't driven in a run. Guy who was second in the National League in hitting at .322. Yanks that one foul.
Well, Murphy in the Mets uniform was the difference when the Mets sweeping the Cubs in 2015. 4 home runs in that series, batted .529. One of those home runs came off Jake Arrieta.
That series a combination of Murphy's bat and those New York arms. Slapped into the glove of Bryant at third. The big guy had to elevate and pull that one down, 1 away.
Yeah, he needed all 6'5" to make this play off Murphy. See how he moved slightly to his right before the pitch came, and then had to make the adjustment to his left, but still makes the play.
And stuck the landing, 1 down. Here's Anthony Rendon, who was moved down in the order, was hitting third in the 6 hole now. And again, one of any number of Washington Nationals struggling at the plate in this series. He's just 1 for 10. Again, the Nats coming in hitting .121 for the series, 7 runs on 11 hits. And looking for their first hit today. Their only base runner was Harper via the walk in the first. 0-2. That is not a good number right there. 2 for 48 with 2 strikes in this series. The 0-2 from Arrieta.
They've scored 7 runs in this series. 6 have come on a Harper home run, 2-run homer, a 3-run home run from Zimmerman, and a solo shot from Rendon. That's it.
Rounded towards second. Baez. 2 down.
Off Arrieta so far, a lot of jam shots, a lot of balls off the end of the bat with that great movement Jake has.
Cy Young winner in 15. Threw a no-hitter that season against the Dodgers. Won 2 games in the World Series a year ago. Of course, the Cubs breaking the 108-year drought. Actually won back-to-back titles in 07 and 08. Trying to do the same here at 16 and 17. And they were the first team to ever repeat as World Series champions. Matt Wieters, the switch hitting catcher, waits on a 2-0. And that's inside. 3 balls and no strikes.
A little more walks for Arrieta this season. 55 walks and only 168 and a third innings pitched. Wieters is one of those guys that likes to swing the bat on a 3-0 count. Career 600 hitter with 4 home runs.
And Arrieta walks his former Oriole teammate with 2 down. That'll bring up Michael A. Taylor. And you like the swings that this guy has put on the ball in the course of this series. He's hit some shots.
Yeah, he's only had a couple of hits, but still he's taken, I think, consistently the best at bats by any hitter in the Nationals lineup.
Wieters the runner at first. And Taylor takes outside. 1-0.
So we said coming in, the fastball command, especially away and down to the right-handed hitter, is the signal if Arrieta is going to have a good game or a special game.
One and one for the Nats' number 8 hitter. As Steven Strasburg waits on deck. Taylor tried to hold up.
And that was home plate umpire Lance Diaz with the call. Hitters can't stand that. They'd rather point down to the first baseman, let him make the call. Let's see the side swing. Did he go? I don't think he went.
Here comes the 1-2. Taps slowly up toward third, and we'll do it again.
Jake Arrieta and Pedro Strop came to the Cubs in July of 2013. Since then, Jake Arrieta is 68 and 31, 5 shutouts, 2 no-hitters, and a Cy Young.
I remember talking to him a couple of years ago too, before one of the Sunday games we did, just about the difference between the Baltimore Jake Arrieta and the Chicago Cub Jake Arrieta, and a lot of it was the mental part of this game and the confidence to know you can get big league hitters out. That move from Baltimore to Chicago has been a game changer for him and the Cubs. Outside.
Well, Jake came up. The American League East at that time was as good as any division in baseball, and for a young pitcher, a tough proving ground.
Checked his swing. And Jerry Lane, the crew chief, said he didn't go. Three balls and 2 strikes, so Matt Wieters, the runner at first, will get a head start. There he goes. Here comes the pitch, and Taylor strikes out. Strikeout number 1 for Arrieta. We head to the bottom of the second.
Inside the rack houses of Jim Beam, every barrel's aged 4 long years for a fuller, smoother flavor. Our history's made from the inside. How will you make yours?
I love you, a bushel and a peck, a bushel and a peck. Though you make my heart a wreck, make my heart a wreck, and you make my life a mess, make my life a mess, yes, a mess of happiness.
While other insurance companies just see a house, we see the home you've worked really hard for. So why not give it the protection it deserves?
With 33 individual vertebrae and 640 muscles in the human body, no two of us are alike. Life made more effortless through adaptability. The perfect position seat in the Lincoln Continental.
This Friday,
You would tell me who killed my child.
the skill, the style,
Special Forces training.
the legend
Ahead of us every step of the way.
returns. The Foreigner. Rated R.
One more ride, one more race. Trevor Bauer is totally in control tonight. We don't slow down, ain't no brakes.
The Yankees are having fun.
No matter what we face. Bye-bye, birdie. There will be a decisive Game 5 in Cleveland on Wednesday. I'ma go wrong. Yeah, I gotta go now.
Don't miss the New York Yankees and Cleveland Indians. Decisive Game 5 of the American League Division Series, presented by Doosan. It starts tonight at 8 Eastern. And you can find it on FS1.
I mean, that's been a great series, too. The Yankees have showed so much fight. I don't know. Can Kluber have 2 bad games in a row? I've never seen it.
Oh, it's been that's been something to see. And Cleveland at home, trying to move on to take on the Houston Astros, who dispatched of the Boston Red Sox. Wilson Contreras on the ground to short. Trey Turner throws across for the first out. And we get to meet some and talk with a lot of good guys in this game. It's done our best. You know, John Farrell got fired by the Red Sox.
Yeah.
We always enjoyed our time talking to John. Treated us with much respect, and you know, he's gone through some stuff health-wise in the past and seen the other side, and we wish you the best.
Pro's pro as a player and a manager.
Here's Ben Zobrist.
Maybe the feel-good moment of the season when he took that one day off to go see his son Luke start a game in Kansas City.
Zobrist is 1 for 8 in his career against Strasburg. That one left the park. He's behind 0-2. Strasburg looks as sharp here in Game 4 as he did in Game 1.
You know, watching Wieters put down the signs when Strasburg's at his best. It's the easiest job in baseball to call pitches for him, because any pitch he can throw over for a strike at any time.
1 ball, 2 strikes. We play in the bottom half of the second inning, and Ben Zobrist lines it into the corner and right. He heads for second, and he's going to hold up. He thought about it, but it's a stand-up double with 1 out in the second.
Well, a big double by Zobrist, the end of no-hit bid for Scherzer in Game 3, and now a double here with 1 out in the second inning.
It was Almora who knocked him in after that other double, and now it's going to be Addison Russell with a chance.
The play is in front of you. If you're the base runner, you identify it when he gets to it, and then he broke it on down. You pick up your third base coach there, he'll give you some help.
Strike to Addison Russell, who is 2 for 10 in the series. Joe Madden, Blas Diaz.
You know, I think what Madden's yelling at is all the umpires to watch Strasburg. He's not coming set and moving quick to the plate.
In the air to deep left. Worth goes back. He's got room and makes the play. Zobrist with the tag safely into third. If you need any more evidence about the wind blowing in, that ball was absolutely tattooed.
The whipping of the flags is going to keep anything but a bazooka shot in the ballpark. And that ball covered by Russell. Worth goes all the way back to the ivy and makes the play. Heads up base running by Zobrist after the catch by Worth to get to third base on the tag.
On a normal day with the wind blowing out that way, they're chasing that ball down Waveland Avenue. Now here's Hayward in the lineup today because of his numbers against Strasburg. He's 15 for 40. That's a .375 clip with a homer. Whereas against Tanner Roark, he was 0 for 18 career. So the rainout puts him in the lineup. Hayward 1 for 6 in this series. That stayed up 1-1.
Zobrist was dancing off third base trying to get Strasburg to balk. That's a play that usually doesn't work against the guy with the credentials of a Strasburg experience.
Weeder's able to corral that. 2 balls and a strike. Contreras grounded out to short. Zobrist lined a double into the corner and right. Went to third on the long fly ball to left by Russell. That's where we are with Hayward at the plate, 2 down. And scoreless.
Well, the Cubs in this series are 4 for 8 with 2 outs and runners in scoring position, but most of that by Rizzo because he's gone 3 for 3.
Addison Russell, knowing that he got all of that pitch from Strasburg. An F7 in the book, but it did get Zobrist over to third. Again, the 2-2. And Hayward battling the right-hander.
Well, with Baez on deck and the numbers you talked about that Hayward has off Strasburg, you have to be very careful for Strasburg here. Baez, he starts swinging the bat on the on-deck circle, ready to go. Not patient. Hayward the opposite.
And Baez 0 for 9 career against Strasburg. Breaking ball, missed, 3-2.
First huge pitch of the game.
They're at the corners with 2 down.
So a 2-2 breaking ball for ball 3, a 3-2 changeup, not chased by Hayward. Not a complete pitch around, but very careful.
Baez, a guy who plays the game with his hair on fire, gives the team that edge. Still looking for his first hit of this series. He's 0 for 6 with 3 strikeouts, and he hits in a big spot here in the second. Runners at first and third with 2 out. .23 home runs, 75 runs batted in for Baez, who hit .273. Nowhere near on that one, and it's 1-1.
Baez is one of those hitters that as soon as he comes to the plate, he kind of decides what he's going to do, whether to swing or not. You see Turner and Murphy talking right there. Turner's getting in the hole. Murphy's moving up the middle. The only issue, though, Zimmerman, since he has to hold on Hayward, what a hole between first and second.
Zobrist edges away from third, Hayward from first. And Baez fouls it back. And Baez has been in the Cubs uniform since 2014. But this year was the first time he was on the opening day roster. He was on the DL in 16.
Hayward's got some speed at first. With a count 1 and 2, you could run a little play here. Hayward stealing, see what kind of defense the Nationals are going to play. Are they going to throw through? Are they going to try to pick off Zobrist at third? If they throw through, Murphy's got to be aware Zobrist could go. And of all the infielders, Murphy probably doesn't have the strongest of arms.
A 1-2.
I think Baez is lucky he fouled that off, because I think it would have hit him if he didn't foul it off.
Zobrist who doubled. Hayward who walked.
Well, we've heard a lot about the IVs and flu bug and all kinds of different things. Now 36 pitches here in the second inning for Strasburg.
And hardly stress-free. Arrieta, the pitcher, on deck. Count even, 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 Cubs on, 2 out. Tapper back to the mound. And that'll do it. Strasburg gets out of the jam. 2 in the books, scoreless.
Right here, Dad.
The Infiniti QX60. Impressive performance and seating for 7.
Infiniti, empower the drive.
We are back.
And we are about to talk to a man who talks to dolphins in Spanish, no less. So what the?
Grab your sunblock and your bathing suits. What the?
Appreciate it, my man. Next up.
What the?
What the?
What the?
What the?
What the?
Shell made entirely of fried egg, wrapped around crisp bacon, seasoned potatoes, and cheddar cheese. The new Naked Egg Taco, only at Taco Bell.
It's not me, it's not my family in your head. Mystified.
Rated mature.
So this one says, dealership has great customer service and has great deals and has
complimentary donuts.
That's the one.
Cars.com. Over 5 million expert and user reviews.
What you doing? Just checking my free credit score at Credit Karma. What the? Don't you know that checking your credit score lowers it? Actually, checking your credit score with Credit Karma doesn't affect it at all.
I guess I could just check my credit score then.
Credit Karma. Get knowing. Now you can afford a complete wardrobe of designer lingerie, something for every occasion. At Adore.me.com, shipping is free, exchanges are a breeze, and your first set is just $24.95. That's 50% off with VIP membership at Adore.me.com.
Hello. Let's go for a ride on a Peloton. Let's go grab a couple thousand friends and chase each other up a hill. Let's go make a personal best, then beat it with your personal better than best. Let's go bring the world's best instructors right to you. Better yet, let's go bring the entire New York studio live. Let's go anytime, anywhere, with anyone who's willing. And let's go do it all right here. Ready to go? Peloton.
I was trying to wonder why Baez did not run to first on this ball back, but you can see his follow-through hits Wieters right on the left shoulder. So really he was checking to see if Wieters was all right before he proceeded to first. Ian Happ earlier in the series hit Wieters in the back of the helmet.
Strasburg leads it off in the top half of the third. Got out of that first and third situation in the second. We're scoreless here in game 4. Ball and a strike. Strasburg went 0 for 2 in the opener of this series. 130 hitter in the regular season. A couple of home runs and 3 RBIs. Sharply hit to short. 1 down. Bleacher Report connects you to the teams, players, and moments that matter in sports culture. Download the free Bleacher Report app and stay dialed in to the MLB playoffs. Nice look from our center field camera here at Wrigley Field. Packed again. I see you. Trey Turner popped to second his first time to remain hitless in the series.
One of the big stats that people talk about nowadays is starting pitchers, how they do the second and third time through the batting order.
In the air to left field. This is going to be down run for the first hit for Turner in this series. He's around second and will hold up there. So Trey Turner breaks the 0 for 13 skid with a 1-out double to left.
Little breaking ball in the middle of the plate, hit a little bit off the end of the bat by Turner, but able to drop that down the line, and it rolls all the way to the fence. He was thinking 3 because he has so much speed, but held up for a double.
First time he has been aboard in this series. It comes here in game 4, and it comes with the game scoreless in the third. Here's Worth. Worth fly to left his first time.
Well, Arrieta's trying to counter the Turner attack. This season, Trey Turner stole third base 14 times.
14 of his 46 steals. He was 46 for 54. Good for third in the National League. Nationals looking for back-to-back hits, which they've done only once in this series. And Contreras threw down to second, trying to catch Turner off the bag, and I think he caught Baez with that one.
Contreras was #1 in all of baseball 73 times during the regular season. Threw the ball behind the runner. Boy, that was a nice play by Baez. Catches that one right in the breadbasket.
I appreciate you saying. I haven't heard breadbasket for a while. That's old school.
That's right.
Ball and no strikes. Down even. Arrieta working in the top half of the third inning. Baez trying to keep Turner close over there at second. Worth takes another strike. 1-2. Bryce Harper on deck. That's trying to take advantage of a scoring opportunity here in the third.
A lot of times base runners on second base, they're thinking of stealing. They're looking for the count. If they can figure out what the catcher's calling, they would love to run on a breaking ball as opposed to a fastball.
And that ball gets away from Contreras. And now Turner moves up to third.
Well, one of the toughest pitchers to catch in all of baseball. He's got a nasty breaking pitch, so much movement on his fastball. And this one gets through the 5-hole of Contreras and catches him on the fingers. See Contreras holding the ball, trying to get the feel back in his fingers.
A golden opportunity here now for Washington to get on the board. Cubs are going to bring the infield in. The speedy Turner, the runner at third. You talk about the value of a run in a low-scoring series, and the infield in here in a scoreless game in the third.
So many things to decide. Do you bring the infield in? I think having 2 strikes is a big thing. Who the pitcher, the opposition pitcher is, Strasburg, that's a big reason to bring the infield in also.
Fly ball of any depth scores Turner with his speed. But a big pitch for Arrieta. You talked about the big pitch last inning for Strasburg. This is in the same category. Strikeout here takes the fly ball out of the equation. Three balls and 2 strikes, and the dangerous Bryce Harper on deck.
The only problem you have when the infield is in as a pitcher, your thought is pop up, strikeout. It's that broken bat hit that ends up going over the infield that presents a problem for the pitcher.
Worth waiting on the 3-2. Steer right 3 called, and Worth tosses the bat aside.
We've talked in the series how many pitches that Jason Worth will take. See if this breaking ball from Arrieta catches the plate, and it absolutely did. Outstanding pitch on the corner. Worth thought it was off.
Two down now. The infield back at normal depth, and Turner still standing at third. Now with 2 out for Bryce Harper. Harper walked his first time.
The young Harper has 5 home runs in the postseason. 3 have come in elimination games for the Nationals.
4 for 14 career against the guy he faces today, Jake Arrieta. 1-0.
There was a 4-game series here last year that Joe Madden decided to walk Bryce Harper almost every time he was up and make Ryan Zimmerman beat him. But right now, at this point, with Harper who's not played a lot, it's Harper you have to go at, and not Zimmerman, who hit a seed his first time up.
Takes the 3-0. 3 balls and 1 strike. Strasburg grounded out to start the inning. Trey Turner doubling to the wall in left field for his first hit of the series. Moved to third as a ball got away from Contreras. And now it's 3-2.
3-0 fastball. 3-1 change. Right on the corner.
Three balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Here it comes. In the air, tailing away and into the stands. Down the left side. Arrieta lost his only start this year to the Nationals in Washington. The stakes much higher here in October. The 3-2. And runners are at first and third as Harper draws his second walk of the day. Strasburg was able to wiggle off the hook with runners at first and third in the bottom of the second and keep the Cubs off the board, and now Arrieta trying to do the same here in the top half of the third.
That line drive that Zimmerman hit on the first pitch of his at-bat to right field Have to be careful always with Ryan on that first pitch.
And it was Zimmerman who went the other way to score the run in Game 3. Takes a strike, 0-1. That double came off Pedro Strop and followed the error by Schwarber in left field, as Madden made the pitching change and took out Quintana and put in Strop. Turner and Harper the runners, and Zimmerman waits. Boy, did he have a cut. 0-2.
Got to be alive if you're Turner on third base. Anything in the dirt, he has such speed he could beat Arrieta to the plate.
They said he didn't swing. Harper went with the pitch, so he's at second. But Arrieta wanted that for a called third.
Close there by Zimmerman. I could have went either way.
Meantime, Harper's down there at second. 2 runners in scoring position now for Zimmerman.
There's so little offense in this series. Check swings are a story.
It's every facet of the game coming into play in October baseball. Arrieta dueling Zimmerman. Rounded up the middle and off the glove of Addison Russell, and that's going to score a run. When I watched that happen, did Arrieta decide to let Russell take that ball, kind of decided against maybe making a play on it or leaping for it?
Well, I think at first he thought he could leap for it, but then didn't think he could. He took his glove away and it ended up with the hustle by Russell in. He made it into kind of a short hop play, which made it much tougher as it took a little bad bounce there and ran up the arm of Addison Russell. Mistake number 1 for the Cubs.
And run number 1 for the Washington Nationals, fighting for their playoff lives today and taking the lead here in the third. Here's Murphy. Murphy hit the ball sharply his first time. Chris Bryant at third had to leap to make the play. Harper at third, Zimmerman at first, and a strike to Murphy. Now it's 0-2.
Turner, Washington, run. They're expecting more of that. Maybe it'll come this afternoon.
Struck him out. But Washington on the board here in Game 4.
First, you dreamed up the career. Then you put yourself through school. Got the degree. You've given it your all to reach the goals you set. Don't let student debt hold you back. Refinancing student loans with SoFi can save thousands, so you can get where you've always been headed sooner. See how much you can save with SoFi, the leader in student loan refinancing.
Limits are meant to push you, but I'm not afraid to push back. Chase down your passion. Never halfway. Hankook Tire.
Hey, this is a great setup.
If everything in life was like Vizio Smartcast, discovering the best content would be simple and easy.
I get it now. Yeah.
A cheeseburger and onion rings for $2.99? Last time we ate this good for $2.99, we were in college.
No, I was in college. You were in denial.
That's not true.
Get a cheeseburger and handmade onion rings for just $2.99. This is how you Sonic.
T-Mobile's Unlimited now includes Netflix on Us. That's right, Netflix on Us. Get 4 unlimited lines for just $40 each. Taxes and fees included. And now, Netflix included. So go ahead, binge on Us. Another reason why T-Mobile is America's best unlimited network.
We were born this way. Forged in the same fire. Blood may be thicker than water, but we've got oil in our veins. Welcome to the Brotherhood of Muscle.
The road ahead presented by Mitsubishi. Game 5, if we need it, will be tomorrow at 8 o'clock on TBS. Travel day scrapped because of the rain. So if we need to, we'll all be hustling to D.C. for Game 5. Bottom half of the third, and Jake Arrieta leads it off against Steven Strasburg and takes a strike. Third postseason start of Steven Strasburg's career. First time he's pitched with the lead. It's 1-0. Unearned run in the top half of this inning.
Both these pitchers at the plate have a little bit of pop. Strasburg with 3 career home runs, Arrieta with 5.
And a strike 3 call to Jake Arrieta for out number 1. Moments ago, Sam Ryan caught up with Nationals pitching coach Mike Maddox.
Mike, it was a quick first for Steven, obviously a different second. What'd you see there?
Well, they got a little traffic out there and everything kind of slowed up. You know, it's a tough day to hit right now. The wind's blowing in and all that, but we got 2 pitchers throwing a lot of strikes, and it's going to be a good one.
In regards to Steven, though, and what you saw, I know Dusty had said he was going to keep an eye on the fatigue factor given the illness. So what specifically do you look for?
Well, we're looking at the raw stuff is there. The velocity's a tick down or 2, but he's still got sharpness on the off-speed pitches. So we're going to go with him as long as he's available, and the hitters will let us know when he's had enough.
Thanks so much, Mike.
Thanks to Sam and Mike. As John Jay steps in with 1 away. Strasburg has struck out 3, allowed 1 hit, and issued 1 walk. So we're 44 pitches deep into this much discussed playoff start for Steven Strasburg. And with pitch 45, he strikes out Jay. Wieters completes the strikeout.
Ernie, think about it this way. The two things, as you see the breaking pitch here to John Jay, swung over the top. Really, the two things that you've talked about Steven Strasburg is, one, in 2012 when they shut him down and he didn't pitch in that postseason, and two, the flu that almost kept him out of this start. That's really his postseason pedigree so far. He's trying to change it here this afternoon.
Bryant at the plate. Nobody on, 2 out. And nothing but strikes coming from Steven Strasburg. Bryant struck out his first time. Off the corner, says Laz Diaz. Dusty Baker hoping that Thursday brings a Game 5 back in Nationals Park. Bryant strikes out for the second time, and Strasburg strikes out the side in the third. We head to the fourth at Wrigley.
Give up, Skeletor. You're finished.
Curse you, He-Man! You interfering imbecile!
Give us one good reason we shouldn't vanquish you to another dimension.
Okay, guys, hear me out. Switching to Geico could save you hundreds on car insurance?
Huh, he does make a point.
Yes.
I do like to save money.
Catch you on the flip, suckers!
Geico, because saving 15% or more on car insurance is always a great answer.
All right, listen up. Out on that field today, you will be ready for anything. And I want you to always remember, this is the greatest team you will ever be part of.
And when they're asked, what did you do to make a difference in the world? They can say, I became a soldier.
Now you can have everything. And your family can too. The 2017 Mitsubishi Outlander with standard third-row seating, one of America's safest crossovers. Well equipped for under $24,000. Coming now and get $2,000 cash back or 0% APR for 72 months on the 2017 Outlander.
Introducing
the never-before-seen
next level of innovation. Redesigned, reimagined, reborn, new, used,
certified pre-owned.
Ford, Toyota, Subaru,
Volkswagen,
Honda, GMC, featuring
backup camera,
EcoBoost, all-wheel drive, low miles, park assist, sport mode,
for wherever you
dream of going.
For drivers
everywhere, for the ride of your life, for the driven.
Shop all the cars, all in one place. Auto Trader. If you can't find your next car here, you won't find it anywhere.
Bottom of the ninth. Ooh, swing and a miss. 2 outs. In comes the All-Star with the game on the line. Let's see if Smith can protect his home turf. He's really painting the corners tonight. And here's the 3-2 pitch. Smith pulls one to right. A walk-off homer to win the game. What an amazing finish. Paint like a pro with Frog Tape brand painter's tape for the sharpest lines every time.
Less than a week away from opening night of the NBA season. I'll be back with Kenny, Charles, and Shaq on opening night 2017 presented by Auto Trader. Check your local listings. Take our show on the road to Golden State next Tuesday. This is little 8 men out, little Field of Dreams, little
or 2 men out maybe. There's a lot of conversation. First, Dusty Baker with crew chief Jerry Lane. Tells you how loud it is here. They got to get real close to be able to be understood. Then Jerry Lane went over to Joe Madden and talked to him, and they went into the dugout. I don't know whether it's bullpen phones or something. What happens in baseball, if one phone is not working, then the other phone has to be disengaged, so because you have to have the same for both clubs.
Well, Anthony Rendon is going to lead it off in the fourth in a 1-0 game. Nats lead. Trying to even the series and force a Game 5 in Washington. Rendon tapped to second his first time and takes a strike. A 25 home run, 100 RBI season for the Nats third baseman. Rendon, one of the better two-strike hitters out there. Behind in the count, 1-2. Dusty Baker with his bench coach Chris Spire. Well hit to left. And that's going to be extra bases for Rendon. Already leading 1-0. The Nats get a leadoff double here in the fourth.
One of those unheralded players that not a lot of people know about, but people who play this game do. Rendon with a bullet to left field on a fastball inside from Arrieta. The Nats have a start.
They turned a one-out double by Turner into a run in the third off Jake Arrieta. And here's Matt Wieters, who walked his first time. Second hit of the day for Washington, both for extra bases. And they were aided by an error on Addison Russell in the third that allowed the run to score.
Wieters does not have a hit yet in this series. Been hit twice and walked in his first at bat.
Sailed high, 2 balls and no strikes.
Mentioned before, 15 days since he's been on a mound. September 26th for Jake Arrieta. His control has been a little off. 5-3-2 count so far this afternoon.
Rendon with his lead at second, and good cut by Wieters, fouls it back to the screen. Wieters a big guy, 6'5", 240. Two and two.
Well, these are where the little things for an offense that's struggling. Situational hitting. Can he get Rendon over? Of course you want to get him in with a hit, but if you don't get him over with a hit, get him in with a hit, get him over.
scoots away from Contreras, but Rendon's not going anywhere.
Well, what Rendon saw there is that the ball was stopped by Contreras. What he didn't see is the kick by Contreras. By that time, he was stuck at second base.
Yeah, Wieters saw that ball roll up toward first. It was, don't go, oh, go, no, don't go.
Mixed signals.
Disregard my sign language over here. Payoff pitch been something we've seen frequently today from Arrieta, and here's another one to Wieters. To left field. Zobrist is there for the first out. Moments ago, Sam Ryan caught up with Cubs manager Joe Madden.
Joe, we know Jake was coming back from the hamstring injury. Obviously, he didn't get the strikeout on Zimmerman, but what are you seeing overall? Obviously, the pitch count is getting elevated.
Yeah, but he's throwing the ball pretty good. I mean, the fastball is good overall. The command's been pretty good. Primarily been pitching with his fastball. I think he looks fine.
We saw some chatter with Laz Diaz. What's the concern?
Well, I thought Strasburg balked with Zobrist on second base. He has an unusual way of going into his glove, but I thought he started, stopped, and then went into his glove, which would have resulted in Zoe being at third base. So I thought you were the closest umpire to me, so I got to yell at you.
Thanks a lot, Joe.
Phrased as only Joe Madden can do it. Closest guy to me, you're going to get the earful.
Lots of visits now in this inning from Contreras out to Arrieta.
Taylor struck out his first time, one of 3 for Arrieta here in Game 4. Arrieta to the plate. Stays outside. 2-1. And Mike Montgomery, the left-hander, who worked in Game 2 and gave up the home run to Ryan Zimmerman, getting loose here in the 4th.